You are listening to Church Talk with Isaac.
Welcome back to another episode of Church Talk with Isaac. I'm your host, Isaac Watson, and we have been off to an amazing start. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been streaming, who has been downloading, who has been rating this. And what I want to do, I want to take a moment to read one of the reviews from Church Talk with Isaac. And this review comes from Mariah J007. And she said, I love that Isaac is never afraid to go against the grain and challenge the status quo. This podcast is going to open the eyes of so many to maybe look at things a little different. Great first two shows. Can't wait to hear more. Thank you so much for that, Mariah. You all are the reason why I decided to do Church Talk with Isaac. I believe that one of the things that needs to happen more are conversations that challenges the body and that challenges the church to think, to begin to study, to begin to look at things the way that they truly are and not necessarily how they've been handed down to us. And sometimes it takes courage to do that. But that's what this show is all about, to be able to encourage you all to look at things a little different. So thanks for that. I've been on a conversation about honor. The last podcast we did, we opened it up. And what I want to do today is I want to kind of cover some more bases regarding honor, because I do believe that this is a topic that we all can learn about, we all can grow in, and we can become better at. One of the things that I want to deal with in this podcast is that many times when we deal with the conversation about honor, it's always or mostly referring to honor that flows upwardly, as far as honoring your mother and your father, honoring your leaders, honoring your governmental leaders, honoring your president or your governor, your king, wherever you may be listening to around the world. But honor has been a discussion as far as what it looks like in relation to it flowing upward. But one of the things that I want to address this morning is the fact that honor does not just flow upwardly. Honor is actually something that flows in every direction. So when we deal with honor, I know many people don't really touch on it, but honor is something that flows upward. It's something that flows at a peer level, so it flows from side to side. And it's also something that flows downward from a leader or from a superior, from an elder, downward to the disciple, to the son, to the daughter, to the student, whatever it may be. But honor is something that flows in every direction. To emphasize an honor that only flows upward is really to take the responsibility away from the elder, the father, the mother, the superior, to treat people right. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to remove the responsibility given to those who are called to lead in any capacity and take that responsibility away from them to treat people right. And we want to make sure that leaders understand honor from their level. We want to make sure that that peers understand honor at their level, and that those who are being discipled, mentored, fathered, mothered, whatever the case may be, that they learn how to take the responsibility at their level. Jesus displayed honor towards the disciples. God displayed honor towards us. One of the things we went over in the first podcast was how in Psalms it said, what is man that you're mindful of him, the son of man that you visit him? You made him a little lower than the angels, and you crowned him with glory, and you crowned him with honor. You surrounded him with glory. You surrounded him with honor. Now, one of the things that we have to look at that is the fact that we're talking about God, the creator of heaven and earth, the maker of all things, the father of all creation. And we're dealing with God displaying honor towards people who were made out of dirt. I want y'all to pay attention to really what I'm saying, y'all, because God, it didn't have to say anything about God displaying any type of honor towards us. But what we see is that before we even had a reason to be honored, before we had a reason to be crowned with glory, God displayed a sense of integrity in honoring us when we didn't even deserve it. So this is something we got to look at, that God is a God who honors. As a matter of fact, when we look at Jesus' baptism, when Jesus was baptized by John and he came up from under the water, the scriptures say that the heavens were rent open, and then there was a dove that descended. It was the Spirit of God descended like a dove upon him, and there was a voice that came out, and that voice was God saying, "This is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased." What do we see there? We see that it was God honoring his son. So what does that mean? That means that fathers can actually honor their sons and daughters. Mothers, mentors, disciplers, whatever, governmental officials, educators. You can honor those who you have been given responsibility to lead. Now, although honor can be displayed in different directions, it does not always look the same. What we see in God's honoring of Jesus were affirming words from a father. God said, "This is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased." This is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. So in other words, what we see God do is affirm Jesus as his son and express pleasure in Jesus' life. This is one of the ways that a father, a mother, a senior can display honor towards those that they lead, is by the power of affirmation, by seeing the value, because we talked about how honor is not just doing something, but is seeing people the right way, seeing people the way that God intended for them to be seen. It's being able to see beyond the dirt, to be able to look beyond the garbage in their life and find the gold underneath all of that, and be able to place a sense of value on what you've discovered in and through the people that you're called to be connected to. So what God did was he affirmed Jesus, and he let him know that I take pleasure in your life. I am well pleased with you. So that is one of the ways that those who have authority can display honor, is by displaying a sense of seeing and understanding the value and the worth that those that they lead have on the inside of them. So again, honor flows more than just upward. It flows in every direction. 1 Peter 2:17 says this. It says, "Honor all people, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king." Honor all people. When I looked up the words all people in the Greek, you know what it said? All people. So what does that mean? It means that we cannot be selective when it comes to who we decide that we want to display honor to. Honor all people means honor all people. It means honor every kind of person that you come in contact with. Honor is reserved for everybody, just not the people that you like, just not the people that have done the most for you. Now, although there is, and I think I'm going to do another podcast where we deal with this, but there is in 1 Timothy 5, what Paul called double honor, where he says that double honor is to be given to those who are overseers, who lead well, and who labor in teaching and in the word. But honor itself is something that should be given to everyone. Don't find yourself becoming critical. Don't find yourself becoming condescending towards people because of a lack of honor in your own heart and your own inability to discern who people really are. Now, I want to say this, y'all. Some of the hardest people to display honor, believe it or not, are prophetic people. Now, why do I say that? Because prophetic people, oftentimes when we deal with prophetic people who've not grown in maturity, what we see is that prophetic people oftentimes have a difficult time seeing people past what they know about them. So they have a very difficult time seeing people past what God showed them, about maybe something that they may have discerned demonically or carnally or whatever the case may be about someone, or they may have a hard time letting people go from past seasons because of what they've known or seen or discerned or sensed about someone in the past. So then you can see them 10 years later and they'll always be that person that you saw 10 years ago that was doing things that might have not had integrity or that might have lacked integrity. So now you can't see them the way that God sees them, and God always sees people in a redemptive way, because God wills that none shall perish, but that all should repent, all should be reconciled unto him. So we have to find a way to reconcile how we see, how we feel, and reconcile that with what God sees and how God feels about people. So this is something, y'all, that we really have to pay attention to, because we have to learn that honor is more than just doing, is more than just flattery. It's actually a way of seeing people, and the way that we see people will have corresponding effects with what we do, how we respond, how we interact, what we say. All of those things will springboard from our perception and our perspective of who people are. So honor flows upward, honor flows downward, and honor flows at a peer level. Again, 1 Peter 2 says, honor all people, love the brotherhood. When we look at 1 Corinthians chapter 12, Paul says, when relating to the body, it says that we are to display honor to those members that are seemingly weaker. So what does that mean? That means that we just don't show honor to the ones who are sitting on the front row. We just don't show honor to the ones who have the microphone. We show honor to the ones who apparently are weaker, whether they are young in age, whether they are immature in God, whether they are ushers, whether they are resourcers, whether they are a part of the ministry of helps. Whatever they do, whatever type of church that you come from, you are supposed to honor everyone, and especially we ought to make sure that we are showing honor towards our peers. One of the issues that happens among peers is that friendships can be broken, things can happen because of a lack of honor, because we do not honor the relationships that we have. It's very easy for schisms to enter into those relationships, for dysfunctions to enter into those relationships, because we are not seeing those relationships the same way that God has intended for those relationships to be seen. Even if someone is on your level as far as being a peer with you, you can't just disregard what everyone says to you. You have to learn how to see what's on the inside of them and pull the best out of them, even when they may not see what's on the inside of them. That is another part of honor. It's not just seeing what people think they are, or just not speaking into what people already know they are. Sometimes you have to speak into areas that the person may be blinded to regarding themselves, and show them this is something which is worth honoring in you. And even when it regards our peers, and when it relates to our peers, we have to learn how to do that amongst one another, because you are assigned to pull the best out of the people that you are in relationship with. So I just wanted to come on and give y'all something real quick you can listen to this morning or this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're listening to this. So listen, do me a favor, y'all. I wanna hear more from you. I want you to inbox me, find me on Facebook, find our Facebook group, Church Talk with Isaac. Inbox me. Let me know some of your thoughts. Let me know how this has been blessing you. I would love to hear from you and hear some of your ideas of some of the topics that you would like to hear as well. So again, I'm Isaac Watson. Thanks again for listening. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Church Talk with Isaac. If you enjoy our content and benefit from this podcast, do me a favor and subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends, family, and colleagues. I'm also on all social media platforms and would love to connect with you. You can also partner with us by visiting isaacwatsonministries.com and clicking donate. Your partnership helps us to get the message of Jesus through Isaac Watson Ministries to the world. Talk to you soon.